very, very young looking. I think I'll start real quick with quoting little statistics here, because we've been talking about things that commonly occur. When we talk about gender-based violence, and we say a lot of women, the statistics actually tell us it's 1 in 4 women. And that's 25%. And we all know, as we've stated many a time in this room, that 50% of us are women. And we're a relatively young country. And the statistics will go on and tell you that by the time a young girl reaches the age of 18, she would have had at least one sexual encounter 1 in 4 times. And over 70% more than once. That's a lot of young women that grow up either carrying the scars, physically as well as emotionally. And then when we tie it in with depression, we know that 1 in 5 of us suffer from depression. So a lot of us, again, are carrying the burden of depression. And then we tie the two together and we say it's 20 times more likely that you would be depressed if you have been a survivor of gender-based violence. Those are the statistics that we, at least for now, are working with. The triggers are interconnected. We can start with the individual. We're all a sum total of our experiences. So if you are a child that tragically was a survivor of a sexual experience growing up, there will be signs either in your interactions with others. You might either be overtly sexual, or you might be an introvert. You might grow up to be this very angry woman that people wonder, why is she so angry? Why does she not respond in a normal fashion? She's married, she has children, she has a good job. Why is she so angry with life? Sometimes it could be the relationships that we find ourselves in. We might be in violent relationships that we're hiding, and we cannot speak on it because we all know about the global stigmatization about talking about it. And more so in our environments, in our homes, in the African context. You go to the police station, they tell you it's a family matter. You go to your priest, he sends you back home. So who do you speak to? Your parents? They say to you, but you're married now. Sometimes you even hear stories of parents telling you, well, I went through it. It's now your burden. It's now your cross to bear. And then we look at the relationship. It's interconnected, the individual and then her relationship. Her relationship could be with her spouse. Her relationship could be with a partner. Her relationship could be with her family members. If her father was a perpetrator and she's forced to live with this secret that perhaps the family are aware of, but nobody speaks to. And then we look at the community. We've spoken about the bystander mentality of a community being aware, but pretending that it doesn't happen. And then finally, let's look at society, our cultural norms, like Professor Ini has said. It's socially acceptable. We see a young boy grow up. We're doing a study now, actually, at the center. We've sent out 1,000 questionnaires to the adolescent age group between 13 and 16, quantifying what their mindset is about gender-based violence. That young boy that goes to church sees his father strike his mother, but nobody says anything because it's socially acceptable. And so when he grows up, he would probably replicate this action, because in his mind, in his reality, that's the norm. Or the girl child that has seen her mother abused daily, but she still makes dinner every evening. She still warns the children, don't go out and tell anybody what's going on. So in her world, that's her reality. And so again, she grows up into being that adult woman who makes poor choices, like you sometimes would probably have found in your, I believe it's the relationship counseling that you do. And then she winds up, again, stuck in this vicious cycle and not being able to speak out. So those are the triggers. And these triggers, sadly, occur every day. And sadly, in this room, it's occurring with a lot more of us than we would like to admit.
Yeah.